Hey everybody, Kent Martz here. It's Thursday, which makes it On the Wing Thursday. We're going to be talking about burning products. Sorry we're running late. Had a few meetings that went long and kept compounding. I'm sure everybody knows exactly how that goes.
Noah,
Anyway,
we've got to
we're
change
gonna be-
Kent's batteries. Did you hear him? He's starting to drag.
going to change batteries here.
Finding. No, not your microscope. You were talking, Kent,
Well, I know. What batteries
and you
are we
started.
changing?
You started saying,
Oh.
and then
I thought you meant my batteries in my
something.
speaker pack.
Yeah.
That's
Westworld.
That's because I was trying to get. Yes, it was. That's because I was trying to get my thoughts together and speak clearly here on the show. Ivan Salmon, greetings. Thank you, Ivan, for that. Welcome to the broadcast. This is the warm-up show for the Amazon Live broadcast. We'll roll into at 2
we're
o'clock.
just going to go straight into Amazon Live here in just a second, as soon as I get the thing done.
So we'll be going to Amazon Live.
We're
here in
not,
just
we're not
a
even
second.
going to break. We're just going to keep trucking.
Yeah. So you want me to just go or
Yeah, just keep
fill
going.
time? All right. So we're going to talk about the. I keep talking about these every week. These are fantastic binoculars. Price over the carousel or on our website. I can say that until Amazon Live comes up live. ExploreScientific.com. You can buy these Bresser 6x21 kids specialized binoculars. They're marketed to kids. The interpupillary distance is a little bit narrower. They fit my face. My eyes are not on the sides of my head like Paul's. His eyes are over here above his ears almost. But
if
he
you
couldn't
could
use
say
these-
stuff like that, I can say stuff like we're running
absolutely. These binoculars are great binoculars. Metal body, glass lenses, have a diopter so you can focus for your left eye and then focus for your right eye. These are real deal binoculars. These are not toys. These are not cheap little give it to kids so they'll go away. These are real binoculars right here. My suggestion is, and I keep talking this up too, buy a pair for you and buy a pair for your kid or kids, enough for you to use and your kids to use. And you use the same binoculars they use to go out doing bird watching or go out looking for deer or nature walk or use them for astronomy. All great uses for these binoculars. Really great multi-use binoculars. Come with a neck strap. Nice, generous sized neck strap. Has a safety clips on both ends, so if you get hung up on something, it's going to pop off and not cause any damage, not hang you up. So a good safety strap for kids. These are the Bresser specialized kids binoculars. They're 6x21, meaning the eyepieces are 6 power, which magnifies everything by a factor of 6, and they have a 21 millimeter objective. That where the light comes in, the bigger around, the more light comes in. That's what those numbers mean on all binoculars. First number is the magnification. Second number is the diameter of the objective lens. I cannot speak enough about this pair of binoculars right here.
I don't know.
These things-
Sometimes I feel like you have spoken enough.
I have spoken about them a lot, and I will continue to spoken about them. So, I'm gonna-
Speaking? Should I say speaking?
Speaking. I like speaking. Spoken. Yes. So anyway, let me know when we go to Amazon Live.
We're working on it. Give me a
so I
second.
can quit talking and not say ExploreScientific.com. Can't say that on Amazon Live because they want us to keep people on their platform. And we do restream this stuff on other platforms as well during the Amazon Live. Ivan says, can you please show some products that I can get in India for my 9-year-old child?
That's a tough one.
That's a tough one because we don't handle India out of the United States. That comes from our European partner sister company, Bresser. .de is their website. I'll say that.
But these products that you see here and in our carousel are on the Bresser website overseas. Now,
Right.
the
So-
stock is different.
So I don't know how it works on Amazon, and Noah, the Amazon guy's gone. I don't know if you can order it off Amazon and pay for shipping to India. You know, it's a small package. These would ship to India with no trouble. It's going to be relatively expensive. The shipping would probably be more than the binoculars, but I can't tell you What products are in India, Ivan? I'm really sorry about that. I just don't know. I'm not even sure of the dealers we have in India,
Right.
but if you search for, I presume Google or Bing or whatever search engine you use, search for Explore Scientific or Bresser dealers in India, you'll come up with somebody that may have inventory on them. And then how I would handle that is look at the inventory we have on our website and what, more specifically, what Bresser has on their website on bresser.de, and then, which they're based in Germany, and then ask the dealer to order you some with their next shipment and procure some that way. I think that would be the way to approach that.
All right, Kent.
And if
we're
Bresser,
gonna roll into Amazon
okay,
right now.
we're rolling into Amazon right now, so we're gonna
Hang on. Three,
cut away for just
two.
a second.
Huh?
Go ahead.
3, 2. Boom.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to Amazon Live, the Explore Scientific broadcast, generally Monday through Friday at 2 o'clock Central Time every day. Today is On the Wing. That makes it Thursday, or
On the
Thursday
Wing.
makes it On the Wing.
On the Ving.
On the Ving, where we talk about birding, specifically in outdoors and sports, and a little bit of astronomy as well. We've had a question from Ivan Salmon, who lives in India, and he would like for us to talk about products for his 9-year-old child that he can get in India. That presents a challenge. I'm not sure what the Amazon policies are. Ivan, you could go to Amazon Live and find our stream, or go to our Explore Scientific store
Imagine
on Amazon
if he
Live.
clicked on a product in the carousel,
Right.
it should populate with one that can be delivered and in his currency.
Right. I would think Amazon can do that, but I don't know. So
Correct.
anyway, I'm sorry I cannot help you more, but again, that's probably the route to take, what we talked about just a
Hey,
few,
Noah, we
few
need to put
seconds ago.
those little binoculars in the carousel, but I don't know the number.
Noah's not over there.
Is he not over there? Did he
These-
leave again?
Yep, these should have been in the carousel from the previous week's show.
No.
Well, we'll get them up when Noah gets back over here.
Yeah,
Anyway,
I don't know the ASIN, which
To
is
talk
the
about them-
Amazon number.
yeah, to talk about them real quick, these are the Bresser 6x21 specialized kids binoculars. These are real binoculars. I think it's like $32.63 or some odd price over in the carousel today.
It's not an odd price.
Oh,
it's a great price.
It's just odd numbers. Generally, they're in 99s and 95s. So this is, if I remember, a sort of a strange number.
Okay.
Not a typical number, let's say that. But great priced. These are not toy binoculars, although they're marketed as specialized kids binoculars. These are not cheap plastic Galilean. They're hard for kids to use. This is a real pair of binoculars. Very easy to use. Now, the interpupillary distance is the problem for adults. I can use these not quite full,
Explain
full apart.
interpupillary distance.
IPD. The distance between the center of this pupil and the center of that pupil is your interpupillary distance. It's always measured in millimeters. And binoculars have a same thing. You can measure the distance from the center of that to this. Actually, it's the same thing if you measure from one edge to the other edge. It's the same thing. Tells you how
Is it?
far apart the pupil, the objective lenses, the ocular lenses can get, which tells you, if you know your interpupillary distance of your eyes, you can tell whether you're going to be able to use these binoculars or not. Paul's eyes are really wide apart, like almost on the side of his head over here by
It's
his
not
ear almost.
true.
I'm exaggerating just a wee bit, but his eyes are really far apart. And most binoculars he can't use because he can't get both eyes to look through the side it should look through. So
Correct.
That would be the problem with these. If you have wider eyes, you're not going to be able to use these. But kids are going to love these binoculars. They're real binoculars, have a focus knob, so you can focus left, right, up, and down. Paul's coming to show you how far apart his eyes are.
Let's just scoot over. Look here. Just this alone. We don't even have to do that.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Inch, nah. Pretty good distance.
The largest ones I have. There isn't anything bigger.
Yeah.
So if I do this, they're
Yeah.
as wide as it can go.
And his pupils don't work. It's funny to watch his eyes because he gets it on his left eye, and his right eye is going like this, trying to find the hole because it knows it should be there somewhere. Yeah. So
Yeah, it didn't work at all.
doesn't work at all, but it works.
Yeah.
Works on your left eye, works on your right eye, but doesn't work on both your eyes. So he faces issues with these binoculars. I don't face issues. I have a face with no issues.
See, I use them with my glasses on.
Uh-oh.
I know, it's fine. Kent uses, he wants these things popped out.
Yeah, and I don't use my
Because
glasses.
he doesn't use his glasses. I use my glasses.
See, I use my glasses for reading. My glasses are only for reading.
Well,
And
if
so-
if I use my glasses,
Can you get those in your eyes?
just like barely.
Do you see one circle or a sort of really
I
tight
see-
figure eight?
I see that deal you see on the
You see the
detective shows in
yeah,
the
where
70s.
so instead of being like your mind sees it as a circle, you see this sort of two circles pushed together.
It's annoying. It needs to be like that much wider.
Yeah.
But if you do have problems with that, and you pull back like this, it actually does help me to see better
Yeah.
by pulling these out.
Cool.
Because it forces my eyes to converge.
It gives you a
more.
little bit more room to converge.
But it also makes this not cover as much of.
You don't get the
I
same
don't
field
get
of
as
view.
much, well, yeah, I don't get as much light.
The exit pupil is getting smaller.
Yeah.
Right. Ah! Pick up that down there that you knocked off.
You want this?
Yes.
You want this?
Yes, put it back over there where you got it.
Or you don't want it?
No, put it back over there. Thank you. So, we'll talk about these fine binoculars in a minute. Or in 30 minutes, something like that. Okay. So, the Bresser 6x21 binoculars, talk about those numbers on binoculars. You always see these numbers, 6, a number, X, a number. The first number always means the power of the eyepiece. So these have 6 power magnification, makes things look 6 times closer than it really is. Or it's like you would see if you moved to 6 times closer, same thing. 21 tells you that the objective diameter is 21 millimeters. Obviously, this is a nice, compact, small pair of binoculars built for kids. So, Paul, I'm going to talk about the Purple Martin sort of interspersed, and we're going to show you a video here after about 3 pair of binoculars. So, we're going to be talking about showing you a video of Purple Martins I took over the weekend of a bird. Don't run it yet.
We
That's
should
a
have
bird
pictures.
in North
Why didn't
America
we have pictures?
that lives in.
Where's the pictures?
There's only one video. That's all I sent you.
But-
Didn't take any still pictures. Didn't have any
But-
time to get them ready. So just the video. And if you want to try and find some pictures of Purple Martins and use them, you can.
It's
So the
easy.
Purple Martin is a beautiful bird. Very.
I don't know why it's so hard.
Lives in colonies. You can put up a Purple Martin house and have a flock of Purple Martins, or go for years with no Purple Martins. Once they find it, they'll come back year after year. Sometimes it takes a long time for them to find one. I'm going to be putting one up this fall where I'm building a house, and hopefully I will attract some Purple Martins. They are so very cool. They're very beautiful bird. They are purple iridescent. We'll talk more about them here in just a minute. First, we're going to finish up by talking about the National Geographic 8x42 binoculars. This is a great selling pair of binoculars on Amazon. They have a 4.5, 4.8 rating. Get really good reviews by people. They're very inexpensive. They're not going to not set you back a whole bunch. You can find them over in the carousel today, and you'll be able to pick up a pair for yourself. They're not waterproof. They're water resistant, but they're not waterproof. They are not purged, so that's one thing that makes them a little bit less expensive. They have twist-up eye cups. They pass the twist test. They don't twist real easy, which means they're assembled very well, and the design of the connection bridge is really rugged. Has a diopter right here, and as you can see right here, it says those two numbers, 8 by 42. That's right, it's 8 power, right? So 8 power magnification,
I got
and
bit.
42 millimeters right here of objective diameter. Brings in much more light than the 21 by 6 by 21s. But as you get bigger binoculars and better coatings, the price goes up. These are a fabulous pair of National Geographic 8 by 42 binoculars, a really common size of binocular for birders is the 8 by 42, 6 by 38s. There's all sorts of different sizes, but not a massive amount of magnification. One thing that a lot of birders want is really close focus binoculars. These binoculars are not extremely close focus. I can focus almost on the camera, but 10 feet away, but not quite. Great pair of binoculars for you. Pick these up, start your birding adventure with a pair of binoculars from National Geographic right here. We make these, they're National Geographic branded. You can't, these would be a fantastic piece to start your birding career. Something else that you might want to think about is over in the carousel on Amazon.com, you're going to see a birding book over there. It is
A birding
the
book?
National Geographic Field Guide to North American Birds. It's a great book. I have 2 of them. One is at my house. One is in the trailer I used to go camping. Additionally, I need to get one for my office because I use them in all 3 places. And invariably, I'll have it at the office and need it at home, then take it at home. And then I want to look up a bird, and it'll be at home where I can't look it up. And the National Geographic Field Guide to North American birds. Paul, I think that's what I was going to ask you to get. Hey, Noah, the 6 by 21s, Bresser Specialized Kids, is not in the carousel. Can you get that over there? Maybe? That would be awesome.
It's not listed on the website, but it's...
Yeah, so, don't know. But it's the 6 by 21 Kids. It's those red and yellow ones, right? All right, so twist up eye cups, simple to use, standard binocular, comes with a strap and a carrying case. I just haven't put them on. All right, so moving along. Going to talk about the Alpen Wings, MagnaView. Alpen MagnaView 8 by 25. Now this is a very compact pair of binoculars designed that way, as you can see right here. Fits into your pocket, not a problem. On this Habit brand fishing shirt, which by the way is also in the carousel. I really love these shirts, have a vented back. They're very comfortable, very flexible. Like these shirts a lot.
Just to the right of the white paper, you can set them down and people can see them in close-up.
Say again?
Just to the right of your white paper,
okay.
You can set them down and people can see a close-up.
So I'll pull them out of my pocket. See, you can carry these in the pocket. You've got them with you all the time. Nice and compact. That's by design. Here we go. We'll put them right here.
Left or right, go right.
There you go. There we go.
Look.
So these are, there we go. There we go. These are Alpen Wings. Tells you right here, 8 by 25. So we know that means you have an 8 power objective ocular lens, so 8 power magnification eyepieces, and 25 millimeters of objective power. Nice, comfortable rubberized coating. They are fully purged and waterproof, so there's no moisture inside of them. They're filled with, I believe it's nitrogen. It's either going to be nitrogen or argon, so that there's no moisture inside. Nitrogen and argon are both inert gases that do not hold moisture, so once you force all the air out, that takes all the moisture with it. And then they get sealed up, making them waterproof. And in addition, they are also fog proof, so if the temperature gets right, that they cool down and start pulling moisture out of the air. Think about when you take a can of soda or a glass of tea or some cold water outside on a hot summer evening and moisture starts forming, the same thing will happen. If there's moisture inside of them, that moisture will start sticking to the glass surfaces, fogging up on the inside, rendering them useless. Won't happen with any of the upper level Alpen binoculars. So let's talk
The
about
MagnaView.
Yeah, MagnaView and on up are waterproof, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
You said wings a minute ago.
These are MagnaViews. Yeah, I said wings, then changed it to MagnaView. So, yep. So, all right.
okay.
Talking about, you got a picture of a purple martin?
Got a picture of a purple martin.
Let's fly one up on the screen, shall we? There we go. There's a picture. Not
No,
yet.
it's not there yet.
No, he's getting it queued up. So the purple martin.
Purple martin.
You know, if you put up a purple martin house, you can buy these, probably find them. Should have said, Noah, find a purple martin house, would you? And put it up in the carousel. Purple martin houses are like installing an apartment complex for purple martins. In the eastern United States, the glossy blue males and browner females peer out from the entrances and chirp from the rooftops all summer long. In the west, martins mainly still nest the old-fashioned way, in woodpecker holes. It's North America's largest swallow. They perform acrobatic aerial maneuvers to snap up flying insects, and at the end of the breeding season they gather in large flocks and make their way to South America, where they spend the winter and then return north to Mexico, the eastern two-thirds of the United States, and then up into the middle Canadian provinces. They also have a branch that goes up the west coast, a narrow strip along the west coast, and they are spectacular birds. My grandmother had a purple martin house, and she would sit out under the purple martin house and literally talk to the birds, and they would just chatter away back at her, and they'd fly around. I think they loved her because she attracted mosquitoes and flies and stuff, and she became a buffet attraction for them. But it was pretty cool. She could sit there, walk up to the purple martin house, they didn't care. But one of us grandkids or my parents walk up there, they would take off and fly around in this big old giant cloud. She probably had a, I don't know, 20 apartment or 30 apartment, you know, each individual cavity in this purple martin house. And they would just fly in these giant clouds around, just chirping a whole different chirp. Would back away, and they'd all land again and go back to talking to Grandma Margie. It was so awesome. I don't know of any pictures of that. My dad has, we estimate 500,000 pictures, 250,000 to 500,000 photos. It take forever to go through them. There's probably a picture of that somewhere. One of these days I may have to get all those indexed and scanned and digitized so we can, you know, enjoy them. Right now they're in shoe boxes and cigar boxes, filling up about 3/4 of a standard closet. So anyway, purple martin, you can see right there.
So I got one more for you.
There are actually purple, indeed.
Got one more for you, okay?
They're iridescent. You got one?
Yeah, I got another one for you.
They're an iridescent purple
Wait,
with
that's
brown, black
that's
wings
supposed
and
to be
tail.
purple martin, but what is that?
That's Ricky Martin.
Oh,
Purple
sorry.
Martin and Danny DeVito's. Don't.
Where'd he go?
Not going to go there. Okay. Let's go ahead and show the video. Why not?
Well, okay.
So here's a video I took in Mountain View, Arkansas, where I was camping over the weekend. We were walking back from the 4th of July parade and saw these in a parking lot next to a bank and walked up, and they took off because, you know, they thought I was too close, and I get video of them circling around and just chattering. Can you hear them, Paul?
Yeah. Anyway,
Yeah, so we'll let it run its course. And I had another video when they came back in and landed. I didn't send that one. But you get the idea. They'll sweep in and all of them land in mass and hover a little bit and fly off and then come back. I was just a little too close. They weren't going to land. But, you know, that is probably 4, 8, 12, probably a 36 unit apartment house, something like that. It needed some repairs. Some of the front doors were gone. But I did not see any house sparrows had moved into the apartment complex. Dad would take down Grandma Margie's birdhouse every winter, clean them out, or apartment house every winter, clean them out, get them ready. And then when we'd go up on weekends, Dad would discourage house sparrows, which are an invasive species in the United States. He would discourage them with a BB gun, indeed. And once the purple martins came, he really worked hard to try and keep the sparrows away until the purple martins had filled up all the houses, and then that pretty well solved the problem for the season. But let's talk about, they're very colonial, with dozens of martins nesting in the same spot. They feed in open areas, especially near water. In the east, they are almost exclusively, as we said, in nest boxes. In the west, they tend to roost in natural cavities. And a lot of times, you know, my grandma, and you see it all the time, people will report the first scout purple martin was spotted at their purple martin house. And Grandma Margie wrote down the date of the first purple martin she saw for years and years and years and years. The first arriving individuals are not checking out there to make sure it's safe for the rest of the group. They're simply older martins returning to the area where they nested before. So the scouts are not really scouts, they're just the first ones coming back going, hey, we want to get there. Martins return north each spring to breed, and for their first time come back for several weeks later. The earlier return of older individuals is a common occurrence in species of migrating birds. The older birds migrate first. Interesting, Native Americans hung up empty gourds for the purple martins long before the Europeans arrived in North America. So in the eastern United States, purple martins are almost exclusively breed in birdhouses. So, you know, if you're in the eastern 2/3 of the United States, and you have an open area, there's a purple martin in a gourd. If you have an open area, you can put up a purple martin house, or you can get these gourds and hang them up and drill the correct sized hole. The hole has to be the right size. If it's too big, other birds can get in. There's also a purple martin hole that's like a half moon that the purple martins can squeeze through, but house sparrows struggle to get through that hole. So there's things you can do to help the purple martins have breeding opportunities and keep the house sparrows out of the apartment complex. All right. Migration and breeding range, as I've said, is the eastern 2/3 of the United States, extending up into the middle provinces, sort of a swoop up into the middle provinces of Canada. And there is a loop that comes out of Mexico and goes up the western coast of the United States up until Oregon and Washington. When they migrate through Central America and spread out into the interior of South America. That, folks, is the purple martin. I want you to start thinking about, you know, starting a life list. I've started a life list. I need to get that up to date with some birds I've seen, and heck, just share it with you. I've seen a lot more birds. I just never wrote them down in the time, date, etc. So I have started doing that. My graphic just popped up. It says telescope extraordinary. I'm not a telescope. You know, you might call me a telescoper extraordinaire, maybe. Coin a word
Telescopy?
there. Telescoper.
Telescopy.
Like a crappie, but a telescopy. Okay, so back
Teloscopy?
to the Alpen. 8x25s would be a fantastic pair to carry with you if you're out in the woods, hiking or whatever. You carry them along. If you're doing other activities, spot a bird, you can whip them out and go eyeball that bird, try and memorize what it looks like, and then use the National Geographic Field Guide to North American Birds. First D's of the show. Ooh, boy, we also have a chat function going on right now. If you're on Amazon Live, you can chat us up. If you're on the stream, you can chat us up as well. If you have a question, thought, comment, whatever, about any of our products or that we're showing today, or anything else related to what we do, glad to help you out with that. So moving along, moving up in quality just a little bit. These are the Wings 8 by 34 binoculars. Come in this nice keeper case. A really nice open bridge design right here. Remember the numbers 8 by 34? Yes, you're right. What does the 8 mean? Yep. 8 power eyepieces, 34 millimeter objective lenses, pulling in a whole lot of light. Really easy to get a hold of these. We got a question. John Dallas. My dad always enjoyed his Martin house. Absolutely, John. I've got a large open area that I'm going to put up a number of Martin houses. Going to put them up this fall, after the migration, because I don't think it's worth putting up now. And hopefully some will happen through in the spring, and I will establish my own colony of Purple Martin houses. There was a guy in the town of Bentonville. He's sold the house. I think he may actually not be living any longer. And at one point, I think he had 200 Purple Martin apartments, and every one of them was full of Purple Martins. And it was astounding to see the cloud of Purple Martins that he drew every spring. And it got to be, I worked for the newspapers for most of my career, and he would call in and report the first Purple Martin sighting, and it would be something we'd mention in the newspaper
Ricky Martin
Sanderlund.
sighting.
His wife was the county clerk. Can't remember his first name. Anyway, he would call in and we would announce that. No, it wasn't Ricky Martin. It was Purple Martin. So yeah, if you've never seen it, it's a very cool sight. Very relaxing to sit there and just watch them fly around, and they're doing us a great service because they're eating mosquitoes and other flying things. That's why they're so acrobatic. Interesting fact. Go ahead.
Tried to find a purple Ricky Martin, but I couldn't.
That would be a Ricky Purple Martin.
He doesn't wear purple.
Huh? There you go.
Weird. You think, all these pictures of this dude, that I'd find one.
He's wearing a black. He's
wearing
probably
purple.
pretty stylish in his blacks and whites, to be my guess. So anyway,
Needs to branch out.
it is
Ooh, wait.
interesting. The Purple Martins
that's not him.
often feed. There's Ricky Martin with somebody in a purple suit behind him.
It's his kid.
There we go. So that is
But
it's
it's
still
not-
Purple Martin.
Well, I guess so.
So anyway, Purple Martins feed tend to be a really high, potentially high altitude feeder, so often harder to spot when they get up in the sky because they're so high up. So back to the Alpen Wings 8 by 34. This is an open bridge design. You can really get your hands down in here and get a hold of them. And boy, they sure pass what I like to call the Scott Roberts Wiggle test. Twist up eye cups, like all of our high-end binoculars have a really nice large focusing knob, a nice smooth diopter focuser, really wider interpupillary distance. I have to fold these way down to get them to fit. Now these will not close focus on the camera. They're probably 15.
It helps if you
16.
take both caps off
And
the
it's still
front.
focused. I can still see it in focus. Probably 16
Just
feet
saying.
away would be a fine pair to start burning. As we go through these, these models get more expensive as we go up because they have better coatings. You start
Magnesium
getting
bodies,
different
for one.
bodies, things like that. Better prisms in them, all sorts of stuff. Comes with an eyepiece cover that you hook on to the neck strap so you don't lose it. And the objective ends have little rings that go around the end, and there you go. They just flip out of the way and flip back up. These are the Wings 8 by 34 binoculars from Alpen. Would love to get a comment from somebody else. Stories of Purple Martins, whatever. It's really nice to sit there, and I probably stood there for 15, 20 minutes watching them. It was very hot. It was July the 4th. It was in the high 90s. There was a nice little wind blowing, and I got in the shade and just stood there and sweated in the shade and watched them. Very worthwhile. So again, we have a chat function up here on Amazon Live. And if you're on the stream, you can chat us up however you can do that. So these are the Shasta Ridge 10 by 42s, almost said 8 by 42s. Now we're getting up into some really nice binoculars. A little bit more expensive, but this is a fantastic pair of binoculars. When we bought
Supposed to
Alpen,
put it down in the camera.
Alpen had closed, had
Right
shut
now.
down and gone out of business in like 2015 or 16, and had shut down. Hadn't had any manufacturing a couple of years before that because Jen was getting on, and they decided to just shut the business down. And we had manufactured a couple of pair of binoculars for them, and we saw an opportunity, and we ended up buying the brand name and got the website, the URL, and brand name, and that's basically it. The last price list, didn't get anything else. And there was no stock, there was no parts or anything left. And so went to start manufacturing, and one of the main factories had closed down, and the molds and tooling and everything to make the binoculars was gone. So we had to redesign a lot of the binocular. The Alpen Shasta Ridge is one of those. So we retooled, made some manufacturing changes to them, made a better quality body, and increased the coatings, the quality of the coatings in the glass inside of them. These Shasta Ridge 10 by 42s are a spectacular pair of binoculars. Really feel good in your hands. Have some knurling on them so you can feel and get a good grip on them. Twist up eye cups, same generous focusing knob that all the Alpen models have. A really nice diopter that just slides, although it sticks in place pretty well. You have to get it moving, but once it's moving, it'll move easily and it'll stay where you put it. Comes with standard Alpen carrying case, and these have a belt loop thing on the back, so you can actually carry one on your belt loop, keeping them in the protective pouch, which also has a shoulder strap as well. Now, these binoculars come with, I didn't grab it, it fell off. This pair comes with a really, really nice neck strap. This is neoprene, right? So it's soft, it's pliable, it's stretchy. Back in the old days, my dad's binoculars had a real thick, hard plastic that was just about this big right here. And if you had a t-shirt on, that strap dug into your neck. Loved using binoculars. Would go out with Dad and Mom on Sunday drives doing birding, and we'd do a little bit of some walks through the woods, north of the town I grew up in, and those would dig into your neck bad. This is not going to dig into your neck at all. This is really going to feel nice, even if it's just on your neck. Long term, it's going to feel really nice. On a shoulder, has a nice non-skid backing, so it'll stick to your clothing a little bit better and won't just slide off like that hard plastic neck strap did. That's a great benefit to using these binoculars, is that neck strap adds a level of comfort and utility use that other binoculars don't have. What time is it, Paul?
2:30.
2:30. We're rolling along pretty good. Maybe a short broadcast today, because we were off Monday for the 4th of July holiday. Do they have a 4th of July, Paul, in England?
No, they have Boxing Day.
Really? They go from July the 3rd to July the 5th?
Boxing Day, whenever that may be.
No, I asked you if they had a July the 4th in England, and you said no.
They have Boxing Day. I did not say no, they did not. I said they have Boxing Day.
No, you said no, they have Boxing Day. I love the English
Whatever.
language and the word play on that. So,
Whatever.
So to my British friends, they call it Treason Day. Of course, I have a British friend that moved here. He moved here calling it Treason Day, but now he calls it Independence Day because he became a U.S. citizen and he saw his error of ways and the independence it gave him. So it's really cool. His has a son and daughter, and their daughter, Robin, lost her English accent very quickly, British accent very quickly, United Kingdom's accent British accent. Pretty
John
quickly,
Dallas says it's very nice
Daniel
to
took
keep
longer.
those in your truck.
Very nice. Keep them in your vehicle or hunting backpack. Absolutely. I've used binoculars for hunting from tree stands. Also in pursuit of ducks and geese over in East Arkansas, where the Mississippi Flyway.
We should go to
many birds.
Claypool's Reservoir.
In the wintertime, like in January.
No.
but Claypool doesn't have the birds like they used to, though.
Well, there's not. They're all in Texas, and there's not enough of them, really.
Well, we, oh man, this has been, I don't know, 10,
What?
12, 14 years ago maybe. We were over in East Arkansas, and every duck in the world seemed to want to be in the 20-acre flooded field we were in.
Yeah.
And they were just, it was last day of the season, and they were coming down, and just, there were so many ducks. They were landing on the blind. It was a sunken blind. They were landing on the blind and looking at us. There were ducks landing on top of ducks. And, it's an untold number, but literally, Paul, tens, and you've seen this because you grew up in East Arkansas.
No, I grew up in the Delta.
Well, okay, yes, in the Delta, which is part of East Arkansas.
No.
Stuttgart, right?
Southern Arkansas.
Stuttgart?
Yeah.
Yeah, the duck capital of the world.
That's right. Well,
And it
still
was
is, I guess.
it was all different species of ducks, and they were coming down in gigantic clouds, and tens of thousands of ducks, and we just sat there and watched this crazy thing unfold. And
Yep.
it was spectacular to
pretty
just sit
crazy.
there and watch this happen. And you see movies of that back in the 20s and 30s. It was just awesome. So
Well, in the 50s, if you remember, Claypool Reservoir was a on TV live,
yeah,
and they totally faked that.
I know it. But
It was
that's
kind of
okay.
awesome the way they faked it, though.
Hey, there's those wildlife shows are renowned for faking it. So I have my former doctor's son lived for 3 years, Paul, 3 years with a wolverine family. I believe it was in Montana. He literally stayed with it all winter long, and they came to accept him, and some of the footage he got of these wolverines was just astounding. But, he spent enough time with them, they were like, okay, he's not going to hurt us. And he got video of him that's been used in all sorts of documentaries about wolverines. Truly impressive work, but the dedication to go sit out all winter and all day long and follow them around and, document something like that. That's seriously hard work right there. That's a commitment to your craft.
So it was cool.
Actually,
you wanna
most of
know-
the time it was really cold, but what he did was really cool. So
Do you want to know what they did at Claypool?
sure, if you got that Claypool video, that's cool. I've seen it before.
Oh, you want the video?
Yeah,
Can I
if you
do
can
the
get
video?
it. So while you're getting, I'll talk about these. These are the Alpen Teton 8x42. Paul loves these. He was out filming with our outdoor staff, outdoor staff, Rick White, and who has a show on Wednesday evenings called On the Hunt. And he it was almost dark, sun had gone down, and Paul tells the story of picking up a pair of these and looking out in the woods, and it was like daylight was up. He was just flabbergasted by how bright these are. That brightness comes from what's called an Abbe prism. It's a different kind of prism designed for better light transmission. Those prisms are inside here, and they flip the light around, so when you look through the binoculars, everything's right side up and left to right correct. That prism and the special coatings on the lenses really increase the brightness. Now, all of these Wings binoculars we've looked at are fully multi-coated. Fully multi-coated means every surface of glass that has light transmission through it is coated with special coatings to increase the contrast and brightness. The first pair of binoculars And the National Geographic binoculars are fully coated, which means the Bresser ones are not coated at all, I don't think, or mildly coated. The National Geographic are fully coated, means it has coatings on the eyeball side and on the optics, the front end side, the objective side. So that's called fully coated. If you see fully coated, that means the front surface on the outside of the binoculars are coated. If they're fully multi-coated, that means every surface has it. So, Paul, you got it yet? You digging for it?
Yeah.
Oh, roll it.
All right, let's see.
Let's roll
Here we
this.
go.
Let's roll this beautiful duck footage.
Ducky.
Once unfit for use. There they raise their families and return to winter in the duck country of Arkansas, which extends from
Those are all
the
greenheads, it looks like.
250
Mallards.
miles south along the eastern part
That's a
of the
diving duck in the front. Look at all
to
those
the
ducks. That's what it looked like.
Hazen, Lone Oak, and DeWitt areas, and on to the Louisiana line.
I mean, there was literally,
We can hear the audio.
Arkansas is the highly prized mallard.
it was literally where we were was ducks like that in 20 acres. They were landing, ducks was coming out and just plopping down in the middle of ducks.
You can hear the
I
announcement.
like to think of the wild things, especially the
On air.
ducks, as extras in the house that God gave us. I like to think when He created this house of ours, He provided everything actually necessary to living. Then, in order to make the house a more pleasant place in which to
How long is
live,
this video, Paul?
He created the wild things.
2.5 minutes.
And I think at this Christmas season,
Those are divers
there
right
should be
there
peace
in
on
the
earth,
front.
goodwill toward
Those aren't
man.
greenheads.
We humans might take a lesson
See, one
from
just
the
went
ducks.
under.
Although there are thousands of separate families of ducks, and ducks of several species all living together, they live in
Greenheads in the back, big old mallards,
peace,
big old fat
respecting the
mallards.
rights of others. Yes, really a lesson.
Wait for
the
it.
wild things of living together.
You're going to hear a
Peace
couple
on
of
earth,
booms here in just a
goodwill
second.
toward man. You know, when I first started hunting ducks in Arkansas more than 50 years ago, the ducks fed on the rice fields in the daytime, going back to the lakes and streams at night to roost. But they were shot at so much on the rice
It's a truly
fields,
astounding
since
sight
there
to
were
see
no
ducks
rest
like
areas
that.
there, they've completely changed their habits. Now they go to the feeding grounds early in the morning and late in the evening, and that's when they become available to the guns of the hunters. Then they come back to the rest areas in the daytime to rest in peace and quiet.
It's a lot of ducks.
And now we approach the evening.
Look at
The
that.
ducks are getting hungry. They're
Is this the
becoming
one where they
restless.
fire off a couple of
Let's
cannons
go.
to simulate gunshots? There we go.
Yeah.
Right there.
Thousands of them up there.
They didn't fire off cannons.
Truly astounding to see that in real life. Seen it one time with ducks.
They did that live. This is live. It's not
So it's filmed live.
pre-recorded and cut back together.
That is,
This
it's-
is literally live television in the 50s. It's like one of the first live TVs out in the woods like
you know,
this.
that's potentially hundreds of thousands of ducks. I took a picture once of a flock of snow geese
Yeah.
and blew it up and measured, you know, on Photoshop, drew a square, and then counted how many geese were in that square, and then estimated how many the size, right? And it was like 8 million ducks. It was, 8 million geese. It was astounding how many geese there were in just one picture. So is that the clubhouse or?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what they did is they baited the field
Right, they
a
bait the
few days
fields.
before. Right?
Probably with either chopped corn or salt, one or the other.
Both. I think everything they could think of.
Everything they could think of.
So they're out because they wanted those ducks to show up, and it's live TV, right?
They
So-
had to have ducks.
Yeah, they had to have ducks. So they brought these ducks in here. And what they did is they set up dynamite charges.
Okay, it's dynamite, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
I said cannons. Same thing.
No,
But
it's
different.
Much different. But hang on. They set up these dynamite charges, and what you hear is boom, 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 boom. And that is the dynamite going off, right? And then you hear these little bitty pops in the background. Peep, 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 peep.
Right, because
And that's the hunters shooting the gun, so it looks like they're shooting the ducks.
right. So those, if I remember reading correctly, that they had to use the dynamite because they wanted a robust sound that the cameras couldn't pick up unless they had really serious booms go off.
No, they had to make sure that the ducks actually flew away. And a couple of shotguns going off with that many ducks.
They might not hear it. I mean, 'cause
They're not gonna hear
the
it.
sound, Paul. You've seen something like that. The sound is just astounding. Every duck out there making its
gosh.
duck sound.
Those ducks in flapping in water and
Yeah,
quacking
splashing and talking
and squeaking,
yeah.
because a lot of ducks squeak. Here we go. Listen.
will completely change the habit.
You do that when some mallards are flying by. It's so cool. They're
Here we
flying
go.
by,
late
and then they
Wait.
And that's when they become available to the guns of the hunters. Then they come back to the rest areas in the daytime to rest in peace and
Wait for
quiet.
it.
And now we are approaching the evening time. The ducks are getting hungry. They're becoming restless. Up they go.
ducks falling out of the sky. Well, it's just like deer, or bear. At one point, there was like 6 bear in Arkansas.
Wolves.
And, wolves have been expatriated. They're not extinct, just killed off here. When you say they're extinct in Arkansas, that's not correct term. Extinct means they don't exist anymore. The term is expatriated. Expatriated, I think.
Expatriated, maybe.
I think is what it is.
Well, I
Something
do
like
know that the National Park Service, about 1920, 19 something around in there, they had an edict to kill off all the wolves because they
In
were
Yellowstone.
eating the wildlife.
Right. And it turns out that was disastrous for the Yellowstone Basin,
Yep.
which is why they reintroduced wolves to try and, because nothing to kill off the sick and injured and eat a few little ones, the elk and bison ran rampant, right? And caused all sorts of disease problems and everything else. The wolves are, take care
Part
of the
of the
environment.
ecosystem.
Part of the ecosystem.
They're not the doctors, but
They're-
they take care of the sick.
They take care of the sick. Very, very good, Paul. Very good. All right, what time is it, Paul?
1:45 or 2:45.
2:45. Okay, so this is a great
I
pair of
can't get
binoculars.
enough of that Claypool stuff.
If you want an investment in binoculars, check out these Alpen Teton Abbey Prism 8x42 and the 10x42s.
The 10x42s are the best.
And compare
Bears.
these, similar binoculars in the same size and with the Abbey Prism, and check the price point. You're going to find out that this is a fantastic investment. We're not price gouging. There's serious expense in making these binoculars, and we're offering to you at a fair market price. And do your own shopping and compare for yourselves. All right.
So also, too, any of this stuff can be used for stargazing.
Oh, absolutely. Astronomy, animal watching, bird watching, whatever. The show's for bird watching, right, to promote that. But
Well, Connor wants to know, what's your favorite nebula type?
say again?
What is your favorite nebula type?
My favorite nebula is probably the first nebula most people ever see, and sometimes don't recognize it when they see it naked eye. And Connor now knows what it is, would be my guess. In fact, Connor, I want you to guess. What do you think it is? You can see it naked eye. If you look closely, you can tell it's not a star, but you don't. If you didn't know what it was, a pair of binoculars will tell you what it is. It's probably the second most photographed object in the night sky behind the moon. See if you can guess what it is, Connor. So we'll come back to that in just a minute. We'll go ahead and talk about the Alpen spotting scope. Before me is a Zoom spotting scope, so it goes from 20 power right here to 60 power. It has an objective lens of 80 gorgeous millimeters. So this is a 20 to 60 by 80 spotting scope. It has a 45-degree angle finder, so it's easy to look down into. Not finder, eyepiece, easy to look down into. This is a fantastic tool for bird watching outdoors and whatever. It has a slide-up dew shield / sunshade. Had to say that precisely. Has a cool little feature. I'll show you right here. Has this little knob. You can turn that knob, loosen it, and look, you can rotate the spotting scope so you're at a comfortable angle. Sometimes it's easier to look through it like this than it is
can
like
look around
this. And so you
corners.
can turn on its side and look at it like that as well. So
You can
has
look around corners with that.
Yeah, you could. Connor, has Connor answered back yet?
No.
Okay. May take him a little bit for things to get
He's got to go
processed
look it
through.
up on Google.
No. Let's see. Anybody else out there watching can guess as well. What's my favorite nebula? My favorite nebula. You can see it with your naked eye.
Jim.
Even under fairly light polluted skies, you can see it. It's an awesome constellation that is big and easy to find. Boy, I'm giving a lot of hints out there. And again, it's photographed by a whole lot of people. Do you have some B-roll of this spotting
No,
scope?
not yet.
You don't? Okay. So, comes with a nice padded protective case. This is waterproof. It's argon purged. However, you want to protect your investment, so you don't want to carry it around and let it get sopping wet, right? If it does, no big deal. But what I like about this protective case is you can put the spotting scope in its protective case. Sitting there struggling on air with it, of course, because I don't have it
It's
unzipped
okay,
enough.
Kent.
I didn't
don't
have
know
it
why that
unzipped
bothers
enough.
you so much.
See, I make mistakes, so you don't have to. And now we can zip it up. Come on, cooperate. Zip it up. And now, because that end unzips, right there is that big, beautiful 80 millimeter aperture. It's contained inside the padding case. And how do you mount it on a tripod or something? Real easy. Has a zipper that opens up the 1/4 to 20 screws, so you can mount it on any tripod. Over in the carousel, we also have a product sold by someone else. We put it in the carousel to make your life easier. For $21.99, you can get a 1/4 to 20 tripod head on a sleeve that slips over your car window. So if you're driving along and want to use your spotting scope out the car window, real simple. You don't have to get out a tripod and struggle it or a monopod. You can set that on the window and you're ready to go. So this is the Alpen 20 to 60 power zoom eyepiece on an 80 millimeter spotting scope. It is equipped with, get this out, a 45-degree angle finder, so it's real easy to look through. It has a fine focus and a coarse focus. So the coarse focus, when you turn a little bit, this fine focus one just spins. But when you turn it, the coarse focus barely moves. This allows you to get razor sharp, precise focus on whatever it is you're looking at, being a bird or a deer or just looking out in the woods. That precise focus gives you a fantastic ability to get really, really sharp focus. Anything back for Connor yet?
No.
Okay. So I'm just going to tell you.
I like this footage. Look how party that is.
It's green.
Oh, of course it's green.
It's in your yard.
Hey.
Don't give away your
my
secrets.
I like this footage. It's good footage.
Those your fingers?
It's party.
Were those your fingers?
Probably.
We need to hire a finger model.
Well,
Because that thumb was just
whatever.
ugly.
Look how party that is.
Ugly.
You can't say things like that online.
I'm talking about your fingers. They're ugly.
You
Just
can't
like
say
mine.
that.
I just said it.
There's the fine focus. See,
Yeah. There we go.
there's
Hey,
your
look at
zoom.
that thumb.
Zuma.
Oof.
Montezuma.
There we go. So anyway, all right.
I like
So-
that. That was a good footage.
So here
Here's the
it
other
is.
one.
It's good
the other
footage.
model's pretty cool too. See,
Which one is this? The 745N? The straight through? Yep, 745N.
I worked hard on this. See,
Is that out at Beaver Lake?
yeah. There we go.
There we go. All right, so Connor hadn't replied back yet, guessing, so I'm going to tell you.
See, we got our guys out there. 60 times. The lake. See, I like the lake.
Hickory Creek?
Powerful enough to bring your
That's
focus.
that bluff. I know that bluff on
Prairie Creek.
Hickory Creek.
Hickory Prairie.
Hickory Creek. That's a bluff by
See,
Hickory
look
Creek.
at that. I also did the voiceover too.
Your thumbs up, Paul. Sorry.
Extreme weather ready with fully multi-coated optics, the completely waterproof and fog-proof Alpen 786 spotting scope gets your prey in range every time. Get close with optical zoom of 20 to 60 times magnification. The included micro-adjustable
Third time through
tripod
it,
gives a
Paul.
steady base, allowing you to dial in your target. Powerful enough to bring your focus into crystal clear view at 1,000 yards, the Alpen 786
Paul,
spotting
can't make it
scope's
stop.
80mm aperture brings enough light to conquer almost any conditions. Make your hunt the best you've ever had with the right equipment from Alpen Optics with the durable 786 Alpen Spotting Scope.
Your stop button doesn't work.
Alpen's Apex
There it goes.
20 to 60 by 80 spotting scope generates brilliant
Cycling
images
again.
full of
It's the
crisp
same video
details
over
by
and over.
combining an impressive
It's the
80
same
millimeter
video over
aperture
and over.
with fully multi-coated optics. The scope has a built-in zoom eyepiece angled at a comfortable 45 degrees, a dual focus system that allows for both coarse and fine adjustments, a tripod thread, and twist-up eye cups. Waterproof and purged with nitrogen. You can always
that's what
guarantee
you
the
thought.
Alpen Apex 20 to 60 by 80
that
spotting
thumb.
scope will be right there with you.
So
See?
there we are.
I was playing the audio.
Didn't know that. I'm just thinking we're
I
looping.
was sitting there.
I think we saw that 9 times.
Yeah, but you didn't see it with the audio in my talking.
That would be true. I did not see that. I would have to have heard that, and I didn't hear it either. All right,
right.
so we're going to wrap up
So
the
what are you
broadcast
complaining
with On
about?
the
I'm doing
Wings.
some of the work for you.
Tomorrow, hopefully, we have Tyler. Well, I'll be back at
really?
the 2 o'clock broadcast. I'll be back with focus on astrophotography. We have an Exos 2 GT with PMC8 Go-To model. We sold out of it in the past 4 weeks. There was a run on that model, and we sold a whole bunch of them, and we don't have any. Working to get more, so there's going to be some pent-up demand for that. But we still have plenty of EXOS 100s, which are great for entry-level people and great for people who've been doing it a long time. It's a light mount, an ED80, a small telescope, a camera, something like that will get you started in astrophotography. So what is my favorite nebula? My favorite nebula is Messier 42, which is a beautiful, you can see it naked eye under not even necessarily real dark, not dark skies. It's in Orion's sword, so if you know where Orion is, has a belt and then a sword hanging down. It's the middle star of his sword. If you look at it with your eyes, you should be able to see that it's fuzzy looking, not exactly a pinpoint like all the other stars around it. And it is a visible nebula. You use a telescope or a spotting scope or binoculars, you're going to see it looks sort of like, I see it as a butterfly, sort of a green butterfly. You look up pictures of it, there's a whole bunch of red in it. Well, that red we can't see. We can only see it thanks to the miracles of photography. The film or digital sensor is sensitive to the red that our eyes are not, and so we can take great pictures of it, but that's not what you're going to see. But M42, Messier 42, is going to be my favorite nebula up there in the sky. So that's going to wrap up the show for the day. Purple Martins, Ricky Martins, and all other Martins today are the star of the show. If you've never sat and watched Purple Martins, if you notice a Purple Martin house up in a tree and beautiful purple, dark birds flying around in a big cloud, stop and enjoy them, because they're going to add some pleasure in your life. If you have pictures of birds that you'd like to share with us, can I say where to send them to, Noah?
No.
Can I say where to send them to? Pictures?
No.
I have to send them through the Amazon.
So if you have some pictures you want to send us, go to the Explorer Scientific store on Amazon.com, click on Contact the Seller,
There's a way to attach pictures.
and Noah will get your message. You can attach pictures that way, and I'll be glad to share your images from around the world or wherever, your own backyard or right here in Springdale, Arkansas. I'll be glad to share your pictures with the world and talk about what they are and educate people about those birds that you've taken a picture of. So tomorrow afternoon, I'll see you with Focus on Astrophotography, and then the regular lineup all next week. We appreciate the gift of your time watching us. We want to thank you very much for that, because we know your time is valuable. And haven't said this today, if you've been watching and have enjoyed what you're looking at, click that follow button. That notifies you when we go live, and you can see more of our content, as well as the more follows we get, the higher we rank in the Amazon algorithm, and the more people get to see what we're doing. What we're doing is unique here on Amazon Live, educational, while also talking about products. We try to be very educational and answer questions and have interaction with our customers and viewers here in a unique platform. So with that, on behalf of everybody here at Explorer Scientific, including Paul Newton, who came in front of the camera for a few wee minutes and proved to us multiple times a little while ago that his thumbs are indeed ugly, and Noah Menard
You can't say that on the internet.
Oh, you can say that on the
You
internet.
can't call people ugly.
I didn't call people ugly. Your thumbs are not people,
They're part of people.
but they're not people.
They're part of people.
1, 2, 3, 4. I declare a thumb war. And on
1, 2,
behalf
3,
of-
4. I'm just going to turn the stream off.
On behalf of Noah Menard over in the Marketplace Center, that's Marketplace Menard. He keeps the Amazon platform. He gave a wave. It looked like this, just like that. That's what it looked like. Thank you, Noah, for that wave. We will see everybody tomorrow. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye, everybody.